Each month, Kaulig Giving and Fox 8 will highlight people, organizations, and charities making a difference in Northeast Ohio. It's time to celebrate Cleveland's own.
Hi, I'm Matt Kaulig. This month on Cleveland's Own, we continue with part 2 of our two-part series with Greg Harris from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This time, I chat with Greg about the educational impact they're making for rockers of all ages. Greg, a lot of people might not know all the great things that you guys do here at the Rock Hall. Can you speak a little bit about what you guys do in terms of art and education?
At our core, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is an educational institution.
Okay.
So visitors learn every day in our exhibits. They learn the history of American culture. They're reminded of their own history and connections. But broadly, we are a teaching institution. So we bring in about 50,000 school kids a year visit the museum in a normal year.
Wow.
20,000 of those kids actually participate in our classroom programs where they don't learn how to play instruments or write songs. They learn math, science, social studies, language, and alliteration through the prism of rock and roll. By the way, every CMSD kid, it's free, and we pay for the buses to get them here, thanks to some of our donor support. We have another program that's called Toddler Rock. And Toddler Rock is done with trained music therapists and kids from Head Start programs all over Northeast Ohio. They're from some of our most challenging neighborhoods. They come to the museum twice a week, and to see these young kids ages 3 to 5 in the museum learning is magical. And they do it for 13 weeks, so there's significant learning. We test them at the beginning, we test them after, and the outcomes are through the roof.
How much of your giving here at the Rock Hall is Northeast Ohio, and how much of it is national?
Our focus for our outgoing partnerships is primarily Northeast Ohio.
Yeah.
We partner with over 500 different charities a year. We are an educational institution, a nonprofit ourselves, but whenever we can provide space, a mouthpiece, a connection, we want to be a good citizen in Northeast Ohio and feel and we have an obligation to do that. This region's been very good to us.
So Greg, what's new here at the museum?
We've got an amazing new exhibit that we opened just a few weeks ago celebrating the 2020 inductee class.
Okay.
We opened up another exhibit back in July that's called It's Been Said All Along, Voices of Rage, Hope, and Empowerment. And it's our look at rock and roll being a voice for social justice. And rock and roll has had the greatest voice of change from Billie Holiday to James Brown to Sam Cooke, all the way up to Kendrick Lamar today. Now, all these exhibits also exist as digital exhibits, so people can enjoy them at rockhall.com. People should stay tuned and get out of their houses and come see the museum.
So you mentioned digital, like you can view everything online?
Now, when we build an exhibit at the museum, we always make a digital companion, so you can experience it from home. And by the way, just last week, we dropped our first ever Rock and Roll Hall of Fame podcast. It's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Induction Vault. It's the greatest moments from the induction ceremonies of the last 35 years.
How can people get more involved here with the Rock Hall and support your community efforts right here in Cleveland?
To stay involved today, one, visit the museum, of course, but go to rockhall.com, become members and support the museum. But even more so, your support allows us to fund these important programs at the museum to make sure the museum always stays vibrant, is always important for this region, and always growing. Again, this is a two-way street. We want to do great things for this community, and we need partners to help us do that.
To learn more about the Rock Hall's education programs, visit edu.rockhall.com. And to nominate a person or organization to be featured on an upcoming episode of Cleveland's Own, visit kauliggiving.com/Cleveland's Own. Make it a great day.